待たせ、和彦。
おー、
これすっごく軽い。伸びる。自由に動ける。
喜んでくれて何よりだよ。正直どれを選んでいいか全然わからなくて、でもこうしてみるとマリーなら何着ても可愛くなってたろうね。
あら、もっと言ってもいいのよ。
Welcome to Winter 2025. Welcome to Japan, Miss Elf. Wow, 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 wow. We just got done watching episode 1, and I was so excited going into this show. And I was like, please, anime gods, don't disappoint me. Like, this one I'm really excited for. And wow, was I just absolutely blown away. And this was such a fun show. Such a fun and cute show. First off, just the whole plot line to begin with, right? You have this character Kazuhiro, and his whole stitch, his whole thing, his whole situation is that since he was a kid, at some point he's always wanted, like all of us, right? Like I wanted to, I'm sure you did too. Like we've always wanted to be in this fantastical world or whatever through the video games we played or just what we imagined using our imagination as like a kid. We always wanted to be in this fantastical world where we have, you know, knights and magic and everything else. And through that desire, somehow one day he just started sleeping and waking up in this other world as a kid. And he's kind of grown up side by side in Japan, and he grew up in this other world. So much so that he's learned Elvish language, their language, monster language, like very linguistically inclined. And you have to assume it's because when he got to that world, originally he had to kind of input his information in like a virtual pad thing, and he probably has skills and things that he's inherited in that world that may not necessarily blend over into Japan when he comes back to the real world. But just like it might not be skill based, but when it comes to memory based and things that you learn, right? If you learn arithmetic in one world, you don't necessarily forget it in another, right? All those skills and maybe things may have helped him retain knowledge and stuff like that in that sense. But once your brain kind of knows it, you just kind of know it. So I thought that was just really cool. Just the whole concept of the fact that as a kid, he started falling asleep, waking up in this other world. And the whole time he just thinks that it's it's a fantasy world, and it's just this thing that happens. Now, the one kink in that specific situational armor is that he was preparing bento boxes, and he would have it next to him or be holding it with him as he goes into this other world because he wanted to feed his elf friend or whatever else he was trying to do. So if that doesn't appear with him in the morning or whatever, I wonder what the situation is there. Now, the only thing I can think of is that he got the bento back from the elf or whoever he was feeding, and because he was holding it when he came back to the real world, it was just empty. So I think he's maybe assuming that, oh yeah, I have a sleepwalking problem, and at night I be eating it because that's what I'm dreaming of it being eaten. Now, that's what I imagined, but they didn't really cover that. But regardless, just the whole concept of the show is stupendous. It's awesome. I love it so much. And then you take it a step further, right? Which is what the show's really based on, is like he had relationships in this other world, one specifically with this Miss Elf person. And it shows that they were very, very close, and it shows they have a good relationship. She's probably known him for a very long time, and reciprocally, he's probably known her for a really long time at this point. And they go and take on this dungeon or maze or like this these ruins from another civilization that lived in this world before, the world that he's in, when he's dreaming, and they face a dragon, and they basically both die. But because of the situation that happened, he's holding her tightly, he's hugging her because he thinks like, oh, we're about to die. And again, he's just thinking like, oh, I'm just gonna die, I will wake up, and he does, but he wakes up to a naked elf, which is chef's kiss. And he's like, holy crap, what just happened? And it completely blew his mind and completely blew him out of the water with his expectations, because suddenly this whole world, this whole idea he had that was just fake, it was just a dream, it was just not real, suddenly became reality. And he realized what happened very quickly. And then he wakes up next to Miss Elf, and she's excited to be there and confused and naked and all kinds of things. And they share a very intimate date. He takes off a day off of work and everything else, and she notices that he's much older. Apparently, in this other world, he's depicted somewhere in the ballpark of 16 years old. And the way she was talking about him is like, you're so much older as that. I was like, oh, he's a geezer now. Like he's my age. He's like 35, 40 years old. You know what I mean? He's a geezer, old dude now. But no, he's freaking 25 years old. You know how much offense I took at that? She's like, you're so much older. You have wisdom. He's like, I'm 25. Like, bro, you're 25. That's the youngest possible age you could be as like an adult. Like, what the hell? So I took a big offense. I took a big offense to that specifically. But I just thought it was just so cute, adorable, and they spend their time together. And they go, and during Sakura season in Japan, they have a really cute date. So you can kind of see the writing on the wall of like where this show's gonna go. He may even, like, based on the ED and OP, may bring over somebody else as well too. The question that need to be asked is like, do they need to be hugging each other when they go to sleep again to get back to the other world? And then vice versa, when they're in the other world, does he need to go to sleep with her like very closely to be able to transfer her back to Japan along with whoever else he may be holding during that time? Do they need to die in the other world? There's questions that I assume will be asked over time. But yeah, this episode and Welcome to Japan, Miss Elf was just absolutely awesome. Like, this did not disappoint even like a little bit. This was like a 9 out of 10 easy. One of the best animes of the season. I think this and then the Kuraiwa anime, the Kuraiwa's Impervious to My Charms, I think those are the two best new anime of the season so far. This was really awesome, and I'm just gushing right now because it was just such, like, I had a stupid ass smile on my face the whole time I was watching it. And it looks like this, I watched this sub, it looks like it's getting a dub too, so that's gonna be even better for those who want to experience it in English, including myself. I may even wait for the dub to come out as I kind of watch it weekly, assuming the dub is close to the sub. If not, I'll just continue watching sub because the voice actor stuff was awesome. But ED was adorable. They both sing during the ED, and it shows us little scenes of them spending time and like cooking together and doing things in Japan. Adorable. And the OP was really good too, because the OP kind of shows us like the adventurous side of it, like the other world side of it. So it's like you get Japan at the end, and then the beginning you get like kind of the adventure side, which I think is really adorable and cute. Just adorable. This is just such a good anime. I am so excited. I highly doubt this will disappoint because I have a good idea what it's going to be going forward, and I am so happy and so excited for it. Let me know your guys' thoughts. If you hate it especially, let me know your guys' thoughts. You know, I'm more than excited, more than happy to hear and see your guys' comments of if you weren't digging it. I'd be interested in knowing why. Again, this is just my opinion, but I am very pleased, but I understand that that might not be everybody. So let me know your comments in the comments below. I'll see you guys next week for episode 2, guys. This was awesome. Can't wait for more. Peace.